Hello YouTube, welcome to another Serie A squad breakdown. Now before I get started properly, I just want to thank everyone who watched the previous video and who gave feedback. There was a lot of great comments and a lot of players came up time and time again as suggestions. So we actually went off, bought a couple of them, and this is the new and improved squad. As you can see, 82 rated, 100 chemistry. So to get things started, one of our big signings was of course Pato. We picked him up for 32,500 and he's been phenomenal so far. He's an amazing player to play with. And backing him up is Mikkeli. This changes from time to time. We still have Boateng, so those players will kind of drift in and out. We also have Bojan, who we sometimes put there. No, it's not ideal position-wise, but they are great players to have, and sometimes you just need that extra attacking threat. So I mean, 3 strikers, you can't go too far wrong. On left midfield then, we have Vargas. He came up time and time again, and 81 pace. Can't argue too much with that. There was another player, Elia, who I have to check out because his name has been mentioned a few times. I think it was 91 pace people were mentioning, but you know, he seems interesting to use, so I wouldn't mind checking him out. It's always good to have backup if nothing else. On the right then we have Krasic, working out really well, 90 pace, so he's just like breezing by defenders, and 81 dribbling as well. So you know, you can't go too far wrong with him on the wings. Then we have in central defensive midfielder, if I can get to him, it's Vidal or Vidal. We're not quite sure how to pronounce it sometimes. He's been pretty good. If you saw episode 5 of the Ultimate FIFA Adventures, he made a couple of good breaks and scored a bizarre corner, it has to be said. Left back is possibly one of our weaker links, Dekegli, but I mean he's working out well with 82 pace, so if he doesn't make a defensive howler, he tracks back pretty well. Cordoba is there. Sometimes we switch him in and out with Abate, who's on the bench at the moment. But again, working out well. Thiago Silva was actually a really lucky pick. Got him in a pack. It's probably one of the better pack openings that I've gotten, and since then I've had no luck at all. But I mean, he works out well, the Serie A and Brazilian and everything else, so you know, slots right in. 83 pace as well, so that's the reason our defensive line kind of mixes up from time to time. And then of course Konko on the right, which, you know, once again, he's quick and he's pretty strong. So I mean, our defensive line is good. The only issue we have is when we come up against a team with Walcott, because apparently he's the fastest player in the world that was ever created. And of course, Julio Cesar holding it down in goals. So flicking onto the subs bench then, we have, you know, not the greatest players. Pepe is alright, Abate slots in and out, Boateng slots in and out. De Rossi was replaced because, you know, Vidal was a little bit pacier, and then of course Bojan. And flicking to reserves is kind of an unfortunate tale. We have Barami, who was one of the first signings we had, who was actually the first pack opening which inspired the Serie A side. Planic, who's worked out really well, but I mean, when there's better players ahead of him, and when you have like 2-3 strikers and centre forwards who can slot in and out there, you know, someone's going to lose out. Iaquinta, of course, one of the players we thought would be with the team forever. I mean, he's still there and thereabouts, but just the talent ahead of him is too much. Gargano, who we tried out recently, and he's actually quite a good player. It was kind of surprising, but I mean, he's good to have on hand once in a while. And of course Klose, who never really settled at the club. I think 30 games, 13 goals. I don't know, he's okay, but again, he's just been replaced by much better players. So once again, I wouldn't mind any comments that you might have as to who to pick up, who's the final pieces that we're missing. People have mentioned Robinho as well, who we've seen in action, and he seems like a phenomenal talent with amazing shooting attributes. Our problem is within the series we don't shoot from distance so much. We need to get into that habit anyway, break the whole, you know, traditional FIFA settings and just start shooting from range, and then I think we'll be able to move into the areas of picking up the likes of Robinho and so on. So that's the team anyway. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your own team is, of course, and if you have a Serie A side, who do you have, who are your best players, and who are you hoping to get rid of. So I'll talk to you again, guys, and thanks very much again, once again, for all the feedback and views and everything on the last one. It was great to see, and of course much appreciated.